to me, it doesn't matter whether it's U.S. Senator or Governor, or any politician for that matter of fact. The concept is the will of your constituents is truly how you're supposed to try to govern. Now, sometimes there will be those times where you're going to believe one thing and your constituents are going to believe another. If it's a situation where it's in violation of the Constitution, what they want to do, the concept is let them know, hey, I'm sorry, but we are bound by the Constitution. We don't like it now where they're violating the Constitution. We will not be going down that road as well. We're going to stick, to be honest. We're going to hold our integrity. And so anything that they would like that's in violation of the Constitution won't be passed, and it'll just have to be explained to them why.
Okay.
Now, if it's a situation where it's not against the Constitution, sure, I can explain my way that, this is why I believe this, but I am only one vote. The will of the people, they wanted this, and that's why it's there. But then I would have to go and side with our citizens. I mean, that's truly what our government's about. It's representing our citizens. It's not a situation where our politicians are out there stating, well, yes, you put me in office to represent you. Now it's just my job to figure out how I think is best for you. That's not the case here. We're supposed to, try to operate our government by the people. I mean, this is government for the people, by the people.
Well, what would either of you say to Bill Maher, who says the people are just too dumb, drag them to it?
Truthfully, he can go pound sand. How does he know what's better for me? How does he know what's better for Jim or anybody else in this nation? He's not sitting in their shoes. What does he know? All he knows is what he thinks is right for him. And that's the problem with most of our politicians, is they're just trying to do something to line their own pocket, to help themselves out. They're not thinking how everything affects the big picture. They always think small, not big. And now we're in the situation we're in.
Okay.
I say to Bill Maher, quit being a wussy. Get out from in front of the camera, get into Congress and do something, make some decisions where you have people calling you and yelling at you for the decisions that you have to make. Don't just complain about it. Get in there and do something about it.
Good. Both of you are running for a seat in Arizona. You first. What's Arizona's biggest issue as a state, and what would you do to try to correct the situation?
Gosh, I believe there's a few issues that are just equally important. I mean, we have a budget problem, law enforcement, securing the borders, and our state sovereignty. I know that illegal immigration is a key factor in 3 of those. And the federal government is pushing to keep us from being able to secure our borders and protect ourselves, not allowing us to enforce immigration laws. I can't say that there's just one big important issue, but I will say that we definitely need to hold our state sovereignty and tell the federal government enough is enough to get out.
Okay. What do you see on a federal level as senator that is your number one issue that you're going to take to Washington for the state of Arizona?
Well, the biggest problem right now is the government. Ronald Reagan said the solution to our problem is not government. Government is the problem. Ronald Reagan was right. The problem is government. And it goes everything from the cap and trade hoax, which will devastate our economy, the constitutional self-control bill. Specifically for Arizona, the biggest issue is immigration from a federal level. So it's not doing its job in securing the borders. It's putting a tremendous strain on Arizona. So as Arizona's senator, immigration policy and no amnesty and securing the border would be the first policies that I would want to get changed for Arizona. But just getting smaller government in general would be is a bigger picture of what I'd like to accomplish.
Okay. Last 2 questions, and they're just real. How's your fundraising going? Are you both doing all right in your fundraising?
My fundraising is not going well.
Okay.
We need donations, everything from $1. We tried to do an email blast where we tried to get people to donate $1, and we got about $550 that day. So that was a good day.
Okay.
But we need more. John McCain is going to raise $10 million. more if he thinks he needs it to win. He'll spend whatever it takes because he's a big spending person.
Right.
I'm a conservative. My budget is $1.5 million.
Okay.
That's what I need to win this race. I've got a great game plan. I'm a businessman, and I already have a model set up where I can win $1.5 million.
Okay, and you've got a website that we can go to?
Yep, JimDeakin.com. Just spell my name correctly.
Okay.
JimDeakin, JimDeakin.com.
Okay.
You can donate there, find out more about my views. And I've also done an interview for the 912 show, so you can go to the 912candidates.org and listen to the answers from the 912 show.
All right. Hugh?
I'd love to say my fundraising is going great, but it's not. My fundraising is a very small amount that I've raised so far. But I'm in a different type of category than Jim himself. I'm running under the Clean Elections Campaign Act here in Arizona. And so technically I'm only allowed to raise $51,000 myself from individuals that are U.S. citizens. I can get them anywhere from anybody in the United States or outside the United States as long as they're citizens, and only up to $140 a person. But the biggest part that I have to face is I need to raise basically 5,400 $5 donations from Arizona residents. And basically I take that money, collect it, have them fill out the forms, sign the forms, and then I send that in to the Clean Elections Act, who turns around and will cut me a check for $700,000 to run my campaign. Now, they try to say that there's matching funds. I'm not worried about matching funds. Licensed CPA here in the state of Arizona, so I want to show the citizen of Arizona that I can run a campaign and I can run stuff with minimal dollars, just as a prelude to what I can do for them in the government should they decide to elect me as governor.
Okay. And you've got a campaign site?
Yes, sir. My website is HughKealer.com. It's HughKealer.com.
Okay.
Donation button on there also tells you a little about myself, my platform, and what I believe.
Perfect. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.